you know, can't say it.
Welcome back to JR Pro Shop Vids. Happy New Year, everyone!
Pizza?
A slice though, I'll take it. Thank you. Oh, shoot. Welcome back to JR Pro Shop Vids. Today we're going to take a look at the Hustle Wrap and the Hustle PBR. So both balls here feature the Hustle Core, which has been in many balls in the past, all the Hustle line. The cover stocks on these two are featured in the MVP line, which is a higher performance line in the Roto Grip family. So if you watched a lot of our videos in the past, typically we do kind of mid-performance to higher performance bowling balls. We thought we'd give this a try and we'd do something a little different and show something on more of an entry-level price point to see if we can get a little more bang for our buck. So for our video today, we're going to compare these two against the Phaze 2, which we've seen in a lot of our other videos in the past. We'll see how these stack up against a proven performer in the Phaze 2. So our pattern today is middle road, 39 feet. So for the PBR, we'd expect a similar amount of hook to the Phaze 2, but probably a little less continuation through the pins. You might get a few flat 10s here and there. And for the Hustle Wrap, we expect a little less overall hook than the Phaze 2, but a little sharper hook further down lane. So for today's question, what is your favorite bang for your buck bowling ball? Leave something in the comments below. All right, let's get to it.
Jungo's back. We got the Hustles here today, the two new ones. Hustle PBR and the Hustle Wrap. Everyone's been asking if I could do a ball review on these, so let's give it a try. We're gonna compare it against the Phaze 2, just because that's one of the most popular balls out there, and the idle's discontinued, so I thought the next best thing would be the Phaze 2. Start with the solid here, the PBR. So I have a feeling the Hustle's, this one's gonna hook just as many boards as the Phaze 2, but the Phaze 2 is gonna be much more continuous down there, so let's give it a shot. Middle road here. This ball hit the pin so hard the power went out. Okay, so that one more time. Let's go two left here off that. Let's see if the ball will still go through the pins good. So as you can see, just two boards left there, the ball started to labor down lane just a little bit. Like it didn't have that pop that it did when I was two boards to the right. So I can already tell that going left with this, probably not a great idea. All right, so the Phaze 2. Same line, that Hustle just went through the pins a little bit weird on. I think the Phaze 2 will go through the pins really well, maybe even a bit high. Yeah, as you can see, maybe a similar amount of boards hooked, but the Phaze 2 is definitely gonna have more engine down lane and be much more continuous. So one more with the Phaze 2 here. Let's move in two more left and see if it can recover. So I got that one out to the right, a little bit further, like the phase 2, really checked up and turned the corner nice and hard. The wrap went a little bit too far down lane, just didn't have enough to get back from there. Almost left the, you know, can't say it. So already I can tell this hustle is gonna hook maybe just a couple boards less than the phase 2, maybe around the same, but definitely a different shape. So I think this would be better for playing a little bit straighter, just because the back end is not as violent, right? Let's try and go like. Got some polish on it, right? So traveled down the lane really far compared to the PBR. Didn't quite hook as much, and a little swisher trip to 2 there for a strike. Smooth 5 right, where the PBR left the 4-pin. This should be really good. Yeah, the wrap definitely hooks like 2 to 3 boards less than the PBR. And it goes further down lane, way further. Really good difference in both the hustles. Okay, let's just show the difference here. Let's throw the phase 2 on that line. Should check up really early and go through the phase, maybe even Brooklyn. See that? Check up really early. That ball's just way stronger. The surface of the hustle, the PBR, is gonna give it that same sort of boards hook, but the phase 2 is definitely gonna be more continuous down lane. So as you're moving left, you gotta go into something like a phase 2. We got Goots in the back here, he's protecting himself from COVID. Well done, Goots. All right, let's go the other way for a couple shots. Let's just make sure I won't die. So back to the original spot and then 10 more left. Let's throw them all once and let's see. That ball really does travel really far down lane though. Makes a hockey stick move. The hustles compared against the phase 2. Let's go back to the shop and talk to Barco.
You awake? All right, so we're back from the lanes. We have 2 brand new balls for you, Jordan. Let's start with the Hustle PBR. My prediction was we'd see a similar amount of overall hook from the phase 2. But what did you see out there?
Yeah, it actually surprised me. It's stronger than I thought it would be. Pretty close to the phase 2, maybe hooks like 1 or 2 boards less. Much different shape though. The phase 2 definitely continues more down lane through the pins and was able to get further left with the phase 2 much easier. With the PBR here, you can totally tell that it reads the mid lane really nice, but then just doesn't have that back end pop like some of the upper mid-range balls do, like the phase 2.
All right, so let's switch gears. Let's go to the Hustle wrap. How did that compare?
Definitely hooks less than the PBR here, maybe 2 to 3 boards less, and gets through the fronts really easy. Slides down lane, super nice, and definitely has like a hockey stick shape down lane. So definitely going to be really good when the lanes dry out, or if you're bowling on something like wood or something like that, it's going to be a really good ball.
So Jordan, there's a significant price difference between these hustles and the phase 2 here. These hustles are about 40% cheaper. What do you attribute that to?
Barks, that's a really good question, man. As you can see, the PBR just hooks a couple boards less than the phase 2, so why would you ever get a phase 2 for 40% more when you can just get a hustle? So the hustle PBR here has a really strong cover stock, but the core is pretty small. So that small core is gonna make it a little bit unpredictable. So for me, I saw that this ball underperforms in the oil. So when I missed a little bit left into the middle of the lane where most of the oil is, right, it just doesn't pick up enough like the Phase 2 does, right? The Phase 2 was really gonna pick up in that pool of oil in the middle of the lane, and it's still gonna make its motion, right? Where the Hustle here went a little bit too far down lane, didn't quite hook enough in the oil. But then on the flip side of that, when I got it to the dry, this overperformed, really snapped, really hooked a lot, where the Phase 2 kind of smoothed that out, right? So if you got it to the dry, got it in the oil, the Phase 2 is more predictable than a ball like the Hustle, even though they cover the same amount of boards.
And with the Hustle wrap, we saw the same kind of ball reaction. You get the ball low in the oil, it underperforms, it gets to the dry too fast and overperforms, but it's even more amplified with that Pearl cover stock.
Yeah, I totally saw that because we were bowling on fresh there, didn't have many games bowled on it. You can really tell that when this ball hit the oil, it just wanted to skid really far. And as soon as it hit the dry, it just wanted to take off left, right? So I think this ball is gonna be really good for when the pattern is more blended out and when you have lighter oil, so that it can't do that, right? If there's not a lot of oil in the lane, it's not gonna skid too far. It's gonna be more predictable, which is good, right? But if you're bowling on tournaments or anything like that, you're gonna see lots of oil, right? So that's why guys like me, we're always erring towards the upper mid bowling balls and the higher end stuff because it's way more predictable and you get way more use out of it and therefore higher scores.
But that doesn't mean these don't have a place. You've bowled tournaments in the past on older synthetics or wood surfaces, and these balls have looked really good for you.
Yeah, for sure. So when lanes have a lot of hook built into them, like they're beat up synthetics, 30 years old, or wood lanes, right? Very porous wood. You can't always use the upper mid and high performance bowling balls. They're just gonna hook too early and be too much overall, right? It's gonna be very difficult to control that. I've been using Hustles in those types of tournaments and they've looked really good. I've used the Hustle Ink a whole bunch and the Hustle Gold. Really, really good bowls. So I think this wrap here is gonna be really good. It's gonna fit right in there where the gold was. The PBR is gonna be just before that. I might take a little bit of the surface off though.
Yeah, so for guys like you, tournament bowlers out there, these are very condition specific, but who are they best suited for?
I would say if you're just getting into bowling and you want a ball that hooks, but you don't want to break the bank, you want to spend 300, a Hustle is going to be really good. It's still going to cover lots of boards. You can see it does hook a lot, right? For the price, you're just going to not get that predictability. But when you're just starting out, that doesn't matter. You just want to be able to hook it, learn the technique, right? These are really good for that.
So these types of lower end bowling balls, like the Hustles, like the Tropical Surge, like the Rhinos from Brunswick, we don't see them on TV very often, and there's a couple reasons for this. Reason number one, they bowl on fresh oil on TV, and there's a lot of it out there. And the second reason, the lane surface they bowl on is usually very, very new. And that means not a lot of built-in friction, not a lot of built-in hook. And those are the types of conditions where these balls look really good. A lot of friction, not a ton of oil. So with the conditions on TV, the players normally gravitate towards the higher end bowling balls, like a Phase 2. All right, Jordan, so any final thoughts?
Yeah, so you get lots of hook here with your money, no doubt about that, right? You can see me on the lanes there. It hooks almost as much as a Phase 2, which is an upper mid bowling ball. You're just gonna miss out on the predictability like a higher end bowling ball is gonna give you in lots of oil.
All right, everyone, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and comment below your favorite bang for your buck bowling ball.
What's yours, Barks?
Mine would be a pink and purple tropical breeze birthday cake fragrance.
Another Storm ball, eh, Barks? Not bad. Jungo's was the lights out. That ball used to turn the corner like no tomorrow. It was great. Unfortunately, it was 15 pounds, so I had to move on. Stay tuned, everyone. A couple ball reviews coming out in the near future. Let's start 2021 off on the right foot here.